Spartans! What is your profession?
How much did they think I'd take before the walls around me break? They used me up, they bled me dry, but I stayed strong, I reached the sky. How much more did they think I could take? Their whispers were poison, their smiles were fake. Behind the curtain, their plans were obscene, using my heart to fuel their machine.
I gave them my truth, they gave me their lies. Played me like a pawn in their grand disguise. I stayed on my path through the darkest of fires, while they chased the shadows of selfish desire.
But I won't break, I won't bend. This is my story and I'll write the end. They can't control the fire in me. I'll rise above their devious schemes. I saw the cracks in their glittered facade, every move a step in their twisted charade. But I kept my head high, my heart stayed clean, while they sank deeper into their cunning routine.
They whispered lies in the dark of the night, promises wrapped up in glitter and light. But I saw through the cracks in their grand disguise. Their schemes were shadows beneath their sweet lies.
Now I see clearly the roles that we played. They chose deception, I chose to stay brave. The scars on my soul are badges I earned. Their schemes have crumbled, the tables have turned. I won't bow down, I won't retreat. I've got a heart that they can't defeat. Their web of lies, it won't confine this soul of mine. It's built to shine.
But I won't break, I won't bend. This is my story and I'll write the end.
They can't control the fire in me. I'll rise above their devious schemes. How much did they think I'd take before the walls around me break? They used me up, they bled me dry, but I stay strong, I reach the sky. How much did they think I'd take before the walls around me break? They used me up, they bled me dry, but I stay strong, I reach the sky.
Welcome back to another Sunday episode of Software Explorations. We are going to be working on a little bit of vibe coding, a little bit of a little more of our DevOps. We're still trying to figure out this Kubernetes. I am trying to I'm using Devin to try to figure out this last bit with our Google Cloud errors to try to see if we can get this password thing going. But at this point, if not today, we are going to be moving on to the next stage of the course. It's just a little thing I was trying to figure out, but it is not that serious to figure out, to spend this much time on it. So if we do not get it today, and my Devin credits have been running up like crazy because it has been helping me a lot, but it's also costing me a lot as well. So trying to figure that out. You know how it is. You know how it is when we have to feed our addictions. Hello, my name is Tech Coach Ralph, and I have a problem. I am a token fiend. Yes. Welcome. You know, we all have our addictions. Mine just happens to be these tokens for AI and managing them and building amazing software. That's how we do. That is how we do. All right. We are going to be getting into, so here's the plan for today. Go through our agenda for today. Use our 5 tokens that I have at Lovable. And then we are going to get into this Kubernetes stuff. I already have the cluster up and running. We're going to apply the Kubernetes files really quickly, get our error, connect to the error that we're getting the other day too. Oh, what a pain. We're going to do that. It was something about, I don't remember. We'll check all that out and try to resolve this last remaining issue to get, because I think we're very close All right, a little bit of things. All right, so let me jump into our agenda for today, and then we'll go from there. So, let's go ahead and do this. We are going to get a token fix in. I'm going to, as we get into our token fix, I'm going to prompt Manus first to do something for me, and then we will go through the show, all that good stuff. So first and foremost, I have to say a big thank you to all of the subscribers to the channel, those who have been with me from day one. Thank you so much. Those who are brand new and I'm able to add a lot of value into their lives, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity, just the opportunity to be able to add just a little bit of value, a little bit of insight, a little bit of direction into your life. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you.
A big shout out and salute to the tech barbarians, the tech prodigy members, the technical explorers, everyone in the Tech Coach Ralph Patreon and the Tech Coach Ralph Discord. Thank you so much for allowing me to add even more value into your life, to connect with you, to work with you, to show you. Like, we had an amazing meetup this past Saturday, which was yesterday. We were in a Google Meet for almost maybe even a little over 2 hours, and I was using up the rest of my Lovable tokens, and I was like answering questions, sharing how I use Devin to troubleshoot some stuff. I showed like 4 different applications that I'm working on, and how I manage it, how I use my QA background to troubleshoot and help the Lovable, help Devin to be able to fix certain things. So great things happening over there. So shout out to all of the Tech Coach Ralph Patreon members. We are the best.
We the best.
We have so much fun, but we get so much work done, so much insight being shared. Really good stuff. And then, of course, I got to give a big shout out to my tech mercenaries. Salute to my tech mercenaries. Those are the YouTube channel members who allow me to come here every single day to add more and more value into everyone who is watching. Thank you so much to the tech mercenaries. Let's get it. All right, so tomorrow morning we are going to be going live. We do have our coffee and kata. We're going to be continuing to work on the large language model course that we're taking, AI prompting. We're going to be working through Hugging Face, what we like, Google Collab, all that stuff. So that's tomorrow morning. And then we do have Candid Conversation premiering tomorrow at noon as well. We're going to be talking about growth, consistency, discipline, all of that good stuff, and how that is your key to running it up, continuous success. So that is for tomorrow, Candid Conversation. And then Tuesday night, we're going to be going live with Tech Q&A, where you can call in. We're going to wrap up our Lovable credits. So I'll probably start a little bit early so I don't fumble any tokens. Look, yesterday it was 7:59 when I pressed last enter, sitting at a restaurant, pressed enter so that I can get my last token in there, because I was not going to fumble any tokens. All right, I'm just saying. So I'll be talking about that tomorrow. And Tech Q&A on Tuesday night. We're gonna get our tokens in. We're going to answer questions. We're gonna have a great grand old time. Lots and lots of fun. Lots and lots of thoughts and questions, answers, all of that good stuff. So that's what's coming up for in the next couple of days. All right. So that is everything. Let me go and check the chat, and then we will get to work. All right. Let's see. We have my guy Wave Nerd in the building. Wave Nerd says, "Hola, good people in the chat and Tech Coach Ralph. Good evening, good afternoon, almost good, slightly after good morning for you, Wave Nerd. Shout out to you. Thank you so much. Appreciate you."
I appreciate you.
And Wave Nerd says, "Hi, Tech Coach Ralph. Hi, Wave Nerd, and hi, crowd." It says, "My name is Wave Nerd, and I am a token fiend." Hi, Wave Nerd. So happy to have you here as we deal with our addictions. However, at least with this addiction, it has us to be super duper productive, always looking for new ideas, always looking to run it up. All right. And we got my guy Junior in the building. He says, what's up? What's up? What's up, family? What's going on with you, Junior? So happy to have you here as well. Always a pleasure. All right, so what we're going to do, we are going to jump into our little bit of vibe coding to get the mood right. As my guy Rod Brown likes to say, it's a vibe. It is a vibe. We're going to do a little bit of work on the community app. I did some work on it yesterday, showing everyone what was up with it. But we're going to do two things, right? So here's the deal. I'm going to prompt Manus to do some research for me while we are using up the rest of our credits, and I'll put 20 minutes on the clock for this. I'm gonna treat our vibe coding segments as a block, right? So every time we have a stream, we have 20 minutes where we're doing a little bit of vibe coding, because I'm gonna try to keep it contained. Because look, I can go on and on and on with this building out these applications. If I had unlimited credit, that would be like unlimited power. I'm just saying. So I'm gonna put 20 minutes to limit me. Make sure we use our 5 credits. And even I'm gonna put 20 minutes. Even if I don't use the 5 credits, I can use it afterwards. But I just, because if it was 7:30 right now, then we're like no holds bar. We're going to get all of our credits in. But it's early right now. I have time. So we'll go for 20 minutes, and then we shall move on to getting into our Kubernetes, trying to see if we can finish off Devin to help us figure this thing out. Because we should be in a good spot. Why are we in a good spot? Because we Devin fixed a lot of stuff for us last time, so we just gotta finish it off, right? So with that being said, let's get started with our first working segment of today.
It's time to do.
So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put Manus AI to work. I made a video this past Wednesday of how I used Manus to give me some ideas for the time cost calculator, and the next video that I'm going to show you on what Manus was able to do. So I showed you this past Wednesday how Manus was able to create ideas to enhance it. I'm going to show you what's the next thing that Manus was able to do for me. And then the following week, I'm going to show you what Devin was able to do for me. We got some new features coming out very, very soon in the on the app and in the different platforms, right? So stay tuned for that. But for now, let's put Manus to work. I'm going to go to, so here's what I'm going to do, right? I am going to take the app over here. Why does it look like that? Hold on one second. Let's do this. If I go, it's cutting off a piece of it. Let's do, but it's cutting off a piece. That works just fine. Let's go like that. And then I'll figure out the rest later. I'll fix this. I changed the scenes up a little bit. And we can, yeah. All right, I'll do it this way. We'll do it this way. All right, whatever. I'll figure it out. Anyways, I'll figure this part out later. But there we go. So that is the top. All right, so I'm going to take the URL, and I am going to tell Manus, I need you to come up with a pricing strategy I don't know why the word strategy looks wrong to me, but come up with a pricing strategy for the homeschool community app that I built. is it worth charging for it, or should it be a free app? If it is a free app, how can we make money off? I always say we, because to me and my AI tools are in this together, right? We're in this together, right? How can we make money off of it? It is for homeschooling moms to have a community where they can form online or local groups, manage their events, create lesson plans, and manage their kids' progress, and has a calendar to manage whatever else they manage, to manage events for themselves as well as their children. Let's leave it at that. Here is the URL that you can see what has been built so far, right? Gonna put in the Lovable URL, send that. All right, so while it's doing that, I am gonna go, so while it's working, I'm gonna go over to here. And we were doing some work yesterday on this, a lot of work in the Team Tech Drive Patreon. I was using up my credits, and I got I was like, what in the world? How did I use 47 and I just got renewed like 30 minutes ago or an hour ago? But that's on a different account. This is, oh my God, my heart almost stopped. I'm like, what in the world did I do? What did I fumble the bag? Was I coding in my sleep? What happened? All right, but no, that's accurate. All right, so the next feature that I want to add is, all right, so what we're trying to do this bulletin board. All right, so I was trying to do this bulletin board over here. Change some stuff up. So if I click into this, see the bulletin board is no longer there, right? So we're going to be very, very specific, because yesterday we added the bulletin board, and then now today it's not there. I check over here. It's not there. So we have to say the bulletin board is no longer in the specific groups page. Can you please add that back as the first tab on the bulletin, on the specific group pages? The first tab should have the whatever is there. Oh, this thing is driving me crazy. All right, we're just gonna move it up a little bit. We don't need, all right, should have whatever is there. The first app should have whatever is, the first app should list out the bulletin board content. There should be a button at the top to add a new item to the bulletin board. To the bulletin board. Previously, when creating an event in the group, the group administrator / creator had the option to post or pin the event to the bulletin board. Make sure that's added back. Also, as Wave Nerd told me yesterday, don't change anything else not related to the bulletin board. Don't remove tabs or functionality on other pages. Only add functionality related to the bulletin board on other pages if necessary. All right, Wave Nerd, I took your advice. I said, hey, don't mess anything up. All right, simple instructions: don't mess anything up. Is that too much to ask? I didn't even set a timer. I'm gonna set a 90-minute timer starting now because I forgot to set my 2-hour timer. So we'll do a 90-minute timer. All right. There we go. I also wanted to add one more. I'm gonna add one more thing to this. Let me see if I can. So while I was doing this work, I'm gonna add one more thing to our live stream. It's going to be in our timer. I am going to add a I don't know. Let me see. So while it's working, I'm configuring our live stream. Yep, that's what I'm doing. That is what I am doing. Let's see. This is impact. All right, cool. Now I'm gonna add another one. And I'm going to say this one. And we're gonna say go with that one, right? All right. All right, so it added the bulletin board. I'm going to drop this, and I'm going to go like that, and I'm gonna drop it right up here. That way, it'll be like a little diary, a little journal of the date that we were working on this stuff. Right about, boom, look at that. Look at that. We got the date up there in this. I don't really need the time in there, but the date is pretty cool, if I say so myself. I think I'm going to do the full date, actually. Let's go with this one. Boom, look at that. Look at that. We have the date up in there. Boom. I like. Now we have a little journal of all the work that we're doing and when. All right, cool, perfect. So let's go to see what it did. So I've added the bulletin board back to the first tab on the specific group pages, and the bulletin board component already includes the functionality for admins to create new posts and links activities to them. The group bulletin board component was already in the code base and has all the features you mentioned, including the ability to pin events. Cool. So it was already there. They just took it off. So we're gonna look over here. We're going to refresh this page. Bulletin board, sweet. Let's go to activities, create an activity, allow member participation, make public. Let's see, where do I make public is visible in the community? That's the events section. Allow member participation. But let's create a bulletin board item. Testing this item. Oh, okay, this is cool. So link to an, all right, this is cool. So this one, I can get a list of activities and I can, all right, let's try it. So let's create a activity. Let's see if this still works, right? One thing I've been doing with the Devin is adding unit tests to these, because I don't know if anybody ever thought about that, right? But when you create, like I've seen, and Wavered has seen how easy this thing will break stuff. So adding unit test into these applications, it's going to be critical. Adding full testing scope is going to be critical, right? So test. Let's pick a date of here. Let's say 4th of July barbecue. And we're going to say my house, right? Whatever, wherever my house is. We're going to say event time is at 04:00 p.m. Create event. It's created. And we're going to say come BBQ with us. And I'm going to say link it to this 4th of July event. Bring your own tokens. All right. Let's see. Let's go over there, create, and bada bing, bada boom, we have come barbecue with us. But you have to bring your own tokens. Say barbecue and vibe coding. I love it. I absolutely love. You know what? That would be a great meetup. Barbecue and vibe coding. All right. All right. So this is working. Let's see. All right. So let me check that off the list. And so next thing I'm going to do, I am going to create I do need to refactor a bunch of stuff. I'm thinking the best time to use those tokens is probably at the beginning of the month when the re-up happens and then you do refactoring. Refactoring is very, very important to keep your application up and running and strong. All right. So I want to add in analytics. Oh, I want to add, not analytics, what do I call it? I want to add what did I call it? Do I even have an admin section? If I did, I don't remember the user. All right, cool. So let's do this. I want to add an admin section where I can select who will be administrators to the application. Please make the account, or let's do that. Right now, make the admin section accessible to any user. So, or let's just see what happens. Right? Let's see what happens. The admin section should be able to track useful analytics such as how many users, how many children added, how many lesson plans created, how many events created, spanning including public, personal, group, and personal, child, and group events. Anything else this thing does? Events, calendar. I think that's good enough for now, right? Let's see what happens. See how many credits we have left. We have 4 credits left. I am slow at using my credits because I'm so thoughtful about the prompts and the features that I'm adding that I'm like, let me slow down. All right, so I'll create an admin section with user management and analytics tracking. First, let me set up the necessary database. All right, let's do that. I can't wait to if you go to my X feed, I was posting throughout Friday night and yesterday all the work that I was doing with Devin in order to add this feature to my application. It is absolutely amazing. I just, for what I want to use Devin with, I just can't afford that is a true addiction right there because it does so much for me. And that right there is a true addiction because I'm like, all right, let me slow down. If my credits run out today for this Kubernetes thing, I'm gonna have to take a step back, go to rehab a little bit, because I was using it crazy this past weekend, you know. So I gotta be careful. I gotta be careful with that. Just, all right, please review and approve this SQL migration. All right, let's do that. So let's do that. And then once so this is going to take up 2 credits, 1 credit for the SQL execution, and then another credit to do the actual implementation. So that is one of the things about Lovable. Anytime it has to do SQL, it's going to do a 1 credit for the SQL query and another credit for the what do you call it, for the actual implementation of the code, right? You better not make me do another one. Oh my god, they're gonna double dip on me, because I probably already used a credit for this one, and I'm gonna have to use another credit for this one. Oh my god, they got me good. They got me good. Oh. How dare you? How dare you?
Yeah, I have a lot of questions. Number 1, how dare you?
But we're gonna do it anyways, right? So like, because their SQL query was bad, right? Please review and approve this corrected SQL migration that uses a function instead of a view for analytics data. And now that I guess it's my fault since I said apply changes, right? But it is all good. It is I got the tokens. But whenever I see one token go away, it just hurts my heart to its core. It hurts my heart to its core. All right. What? Oh no, they didn't. They're gonna get me again. They're gonna get me again. Oh no, they didn't. All right. Looks. I don't know. Oh yeah, they got me. They got me good. All right. Oof, I am so mad. What a fumble.
Lunch break.
I feel like just stopping right now. I'm so bothered by this. Because of their syntax errors. I tell you. Well, hopefully it doesn't fail again. I'm so upset.
Bruh.
It's your queries, for crying out loud. Whatever. What a way to waste 4 tokens. What a waste of 4 tokens. So painful. So painful. All right, finally got it. And now because I applied, I had 1 left. It's going to take me up from 47 to 48. It's going to take me from 47 to 48.
I hate it here. I want to go home.
Yeah, I do. I really do hate it here, and I do want to go home. But you know, it's worth it. It's painfully worth it when you fumble that way. It took like 3 tokens to get their own SQL. I approved it. I get it. But even if I didn't approve it, if I said, "Oh, actually, no, you have this wrong," it would have still taken a token. To my core. Just hurts so badly. It hurts so badly. Let's wait for it to be done. Let's see what we get. It's painful. Well, all right. I've implemented a comprehensive admin section with the following features: admin dashboard /admin analytics section, admin management security features, UI component, how to use it. First admin, you need to manually insert the first admin record in the database using this right here, your value here, and then grant access navigate to this. All right, so I will go ahead and fix this error right here. Admin dashboard property doesn't. I don't know. Let's try to fix that. That one is free, but here. Oh no! It didn't take us to 48. Whew, that was a close call. They had me on the ropes on that one. All right, but they didn't take it. They didn't take it. So let's see if we can get this fixed, and then I will, while that's doing its thing, I'm gonna copy this. Let's copy that. I'm gonna see if I can do this through Superbase so we don't have to. Which account are we gonna get into here? No. Let's go and sign off. Let's go and with this one maybe login. Yes, there we go. We're gonna go with this one. We are going to look up the database. We are going to say SQ table. Where do I run the SQL? Not a new table. Schema visualizer. I just need, so this is gonna go into, did it fix it? It fixed it. All right, cool. If I go over here and I go to refresh, admin. All right, so we need to add this account as an admin to get started. It says that we need to go into public admin role. So this is the table here. And we need to, where is the database table SQL editor? All right, so I need to get the, just to get this to work, we're gonna go to database, we're gonna go to tables, we're gonna go to users. Somewhere's users. Event children, events, group members, groups. Where are the users? Let's go to users. Members? Group? No, not group members. User ID. Where are the users defined? Am I blind? Where are the users defined? Oh, okay. The users are over here actually. So authentication. And we're going to get this user ID. Copy that. And we're going to go to SQL editor. And we're going to say, where can I run a command? So admin, I guess we do insert. I'd rather just do the, let's say we do insert row. This would be user admin role, user ID. Is that it? I just go to this one. All right. This. And default. All right, cool. I think that's good. Do I need this one? Let's go save. And if I go back over here and I refresh, do I have admin? Let's see. /admin. Oh, look at here. Sweet. We're good. And then you can grant admin role. Instead of user ID, I'd probably want to look for the username. Add a new admin role by entering the user ID. You can find it in, all right, whatever. That, I don't know if this is accurate, but that is pretty cool. Maybe that is accurate. I don't know. Let's go to say, we'll go create another group event just to check, right? So let's go to here, hives. Let's say we go into here and we do event, test event 2, testing. Let's say it's on the 3rd, 0500 p.m. and create. If we go back to admin, oh, look at that. It updated. I think it updated, right? I think it updated. Sweet. Personal events created. Oh, that is so all right. We're done. We are done with that for now. Let's go ahead and take a look at what Manus was able to give us. Homeschool community app pricing strategy recommendations based on comprehensive market research. Yeah. All right. So global homeschooling market 5.49 billion 2023, predicted to be 10.35 billion in 2031. Homeschooling market 6.07 all right, 3.1 million homeschool students in the United States, up 25% from 2019 to 2022. Education apps market 23.20 billion to 410 estimated for 2034. Market drivers supporting paid models, parents seeking customized learning solutions, growing demand for community and support networks, technology adoption, yada yada. That is that homeschooling planet for this planning focus, Freely Planner, Homeschool Hub, Market Gaps, Community First Approach, Integrated Solution, Mom-Centric Design, Local Global Hybrid, Freemium Foundation, months 1 through 12, Premium Tier, Enhanced Monetization, Expert Services Premium Courses, Local Event Hosting, Market Commission, Rationale for Freemium Approach, Why Premium Tier Works, Proven Willingness to Pay. Research shows homeschool families spend $100 to $700 per year on planning tools alone. And I heard some of the curriculums are super duper expensive as well. Anchoring strategy, revenue projection. Jesus, annual revenue 120, monthly recurring revenue. That is crazy. Optimistic scenario for year 3. Implementation timeline, premium launch, 7 optimization, expansion, risk management. Anyways, I have to read through that. But look at all that we're able to do in about 20, 30-ish minutes of time. Really good stuff. I am very, very impressed with Manus. What I'm able to get out of it for it's not that expensive for the amount of value that it's bringing into my life. I always look for value, and Manus, Devin, Lovable, they all bring a lot of value into the work that we're able to do. So shout out to all of those platforms. All right. All right. So with that being said, we are going to go to our first break for today. And I'm going to check the chat, and then we're going to have our first break time conversation, and then we will get to work on Kubernetes. All right. Let me check the chat real quick, see what we got going on in the building. So we had, I am not feeling the YouTube changing to use usernames instead of the actual, like, where you can have your actual name, you can customize your name, because I'm not sure who this person is, but Reflexon 124 says, keep uploading videos, bro. You would make it there. Thank you so much. Shout out to you, Reflexon. And like, honestly, like, I just love to document the stuff and sharing it with other people to hopefully it'll help them. Some people, they won't do anything with it. I just love sharing. And even with that, there's benefits by you sharing the work that you're doing with the tools that you're using, because the guys over at Devin, they saw some of the stuff I was posting on X, and they were like, oh wow, this is really cool. Here's some credits to do some more work. And I took full advantage of that, maybe even too much over the weekend. And but I built, like, when you guys see the video that's coming out, not this Wednesday, but the following Wednesday, of what I was able to do with Devin, adding more features to the time cost calculator in about a few hours, maybe like for the speed that I went at with the features and added tests to it as well, it is totally crazy. So I'm going to definitely be investing a lot more into Devin. I have to create a budget for it. I have to create a budget for Devin. Let's see. Wave Nerds. Did I miss something from Junior? Hold on. Oh, Junior says, I love that idea when prompting, telling it not to touch things that's already good. Yeah, tell me about it. Like, I didn't think I should have to tell it, but I think it worked this time, right? Wave Nerd said to Junior, do you have set instructions loaded into your knowledge management on Lovable? What is that? What is not? Wait, whoa, what? Stop the show. Stop the show. What is knowledge management in Devin or in Lovable? What is it not? I have to look at that. I know Devin has a knowledge management that I loaded some stuff in there, but knowledge management in Lovable, I have to look at that. But I was gonna say something else. I forgot what I was gonna say. But that is super cool. Let's see. Junior says they tried to make me go to rehab, and I said no, no, no. I hear you. Oh yeah, this is what I was gonna say. It turns out that Lovable also has a plan where because I downgraded today to the 100 credits on one of my accounts. And I was like, oh, there's a plan where they have the 5 credits per day for the whole entire time. Like for the month, you get your 5 credits for $15. I was like, 15, but that is awesome because if I wasn't using this the way that I've been using it, and I'm using it for coaching and stuff like that, then I was like, oh, if I 5 credits a day for $15, don't threaten me with a good time. But I see it totally worth it. It is totally worth it. Right. All right, so let me continue. We got Kuya Nimbus in the digital Kuya Nimbus in the building. Not just Kuya Nimbus anymore. It's digital Kuya Nimbus in the building. Says, hope everyone is doing well. I am doing absolutely phenomenal, Kuya Nimbus. Hopefully you are doing awesome as well. One of my favorite people. We got me, Massify, in the building. Says, good evening, Ralph, and the chat. Hope all is well. I am doing absolutely phenomenal. Hopefully you are doing well. Hopefully you're doing better. We are always thinking about you, me, Massify. So shout out to you. Always appreciate when you are able to stop by.
We the best.
Let me see. Wait, says, go to set. I'm definitely gonna check it out. And Junior says, I have no idea what that is. Basically, you're telling it, you're saying, all right, this is how I want you to act. You don't just go doing whatever you want whenever you feel like it. These are the instructions that we have to operate by. All right, cool. So perfect. That is everything. All right, so we are going to get to this little conversation really quick. I've been meaning to get to this article for a while now, but we're gonna get to it. Let me clean this stuff up. All right, give me a second. We're gonna go to get rid of that. I am doing some manipulation real quick. I guess I won't be able to get that. Oh wait. Nope, can't get that. All right, it is what it is. It is. What is this? What in the world? Hold on. Just get rid of that. What? I just have this. All right, let's get rid of that. All right, cool. There we go. All right, we're good. We are good. I was about to go crazy over here. All right, so we are going to be talking about a Google engineer's advice to computer science majors. All right, I'm going to throw up 5 minutes on the clock before we get back. Get rid of this. All right, so it says, a Google engineer's advice to computer science students, go where the hiring bar is lower and get your foot in the door. I don't even have to read this article to know that I agree with this. This is brought to us by Business Insider through Yahoo, but written by Sarah Perko. And so let's read this together, right? So what is this? Oh my God, these things be annoying me like crazy. Let me get rid of this thing over here. Boom. All right, we're good. So let's go ahead and read this, right? So I'm not even going to try to say this name, but a Google software engineer says the hiring bar is lower for internships than full-time roles. That's a fact, though. That is a fact. Big tech companies frequently onboard from their internship programs, He said in an interview with Sajaj Katter, his advice is secure an internship. Develop skills through projects, seek out referrals, and track your applications. Shout out to the resume flow app that's coming out. That's going to help you with your resume. Compare your jobs to your your resume to the job description that you want to apply for. Track the whole process. Give you interview questions. They are going to be a sponsor. They're probably going to be the very first sponsor of this show. The Resume Flow app. It is almost finished from what I can see. I am working closely with them to get that over the line so that I'm going to say we because they're going to be a sponsor of the show. So I'm going to say we, right? So working diligently on that. But we'll be talking about a lot more about that in the coming weeks, months, whatever, probably weeks, right? It says don't underestimate the potential advantage of a first or second year program at a big tech giant. It could be your foot in the door to a full-time offer. A referral can also help. Google software engineer, Mr. Mohammed, interned at the company for 2 summers before receiving a full-time offer, and he suggests current computer science students try to do the same. That's true. It's hard. Even getting the internships are hard, right? I think one of the most important things I've done in my career to date is applying for these first and second year programs. He's totally right, though. He said in an interview with a YouTuber, Sajad Katter. Like I said, it's a first and second year program for computer science students, and the hiring bar is much, much lower. You have to go where the bar is low because you don't even know much, right? For example, they'll ask you like a lead code easy instead of a lead code medium. He added, referencing the technical interviews, and you need to be practicing on these different platforms if you want to work for these companies. That's what they use. And I go, oh, why do they use lead code? Who gives a flying one of those, right? Why are they using? Because that's what they use. So you need to practice on those platforms. Stop your complaining and get to practicing so that you can answer those questions, right? It says it's no secret that entry-level coders have it rough right now compared to the hiring boom of the pandemic. The tech industry is still feeling the effects of the last few years' waves of layoffs, and the stress of shrinking opportunities is compounded by companies increasingly turning to AI to accomplish tasks human coders once did. Look, I get it. I was saying yesterday in our meetup, right? If the more experienced software engineers were to embrace these platforms, like these AI and stuff like that, the possibilities would be endless, not only for them, but also for the junior. Because you can just, people are thinking, oh, it's going to take over this, it's going to take over that. I'm like, no. It is going to increase the speed that we can do amazing projects, amazing products, getting to market so much fast. Stuff that would have taken me years, if I ever even did them, are taking me weeks to maybe months, maybe less than that. So I'm just saying, all right? I started tracking my application for these internships as opposed to just mass applying and just like waiting for whatever comes in my inbox, he said. So it was very organized. I would update the status of each application, and it would help me a lot to prepare for each interview and for which stage I was in each interview, right? Agreed. To get his internship at Google, Mohammed said he cleared 1 behavioral interview followed by 2 technical screenings. To prepare for the latter, he advises students to learn the patterns of lead code questions rather than focus on memorizing individual problems. That is totally great advice.
Message.
Says if you try to memorize it problem by problem, you'll eventually be given a problem that you don't know. Facts. He said, so you just want
back to work. Chop, let's go. Come on, get a move on. Back to work.
So you just want to master the overarching principles. And that's the conversation that I was having this morning with somebody that I'm coaching. We're like working on some automation, and it's like they know how to kind of do the work, but it's so fuzzy because they might practice on one thing, but they don't have the principles, the concepts, all of that. So I said, look, you need to be able to understand the principles, what this is, right? What a page object model, what that does in particular, what Playwright is doing in particular, what Java is doing in particular. You need to be able to easily explain those different aspects. Gave some pointers on how to use AI to get a better understanding of each of those things, because while you might be able to put it together, it's going to be messy and you're not going to be able to answer questions, which is going to be why you fail in a particular interview, right? So you need to be able to clearly be able to articulate what each part does. And that's why Muhammad is saying you need to master the overarching principles and not just memorization. And memorization does not work well, all right? It says, Muhammad acknowledged that getting a referral from his father's friend who was already employed at Google. What? What? All right. Likely helped this. Duh. I mean, you still like, so with referrals and stuff like that, they can, like, because there's plenty of times I've referred people and they didn't get the job, right? So fair enough. But with the referral, it'll get you your foot in the door, but you still need to be able to master, to pass the interviews, like your communication skills, all that. You still need to be able to pass the technical interviews, because if you can't pass the technical interviews, I would say like no. Oh, but it's this person's, no one has ever said that to me before, but if like, oh, but it's this person's niece or nephew or whatever, like, I don't care. If you want to go ahead against my recommendation and hire them, by all means go for it, but I don't think they're qualified, all right? I have no problem saying that, because if I have to work with you, you are not going to be a headache for me. Simple as that. I don't like people giving me headaches, right? It says, I think that really helped me get my foot in the door in the application process. He said, I got an interview really soon after she submitted the referral. You want to try to separate yourself from everyone as much as you can when you're applying for these internships. Fair, totally true. You always want to separate yourself, right? It says, and if you can't seem to get an internship in this brutal job market, try to start learning critical skills on your own time by taking on projects he added. Then you'll have more to list on your resume that could make you more attractive applicant. I think that's it for this article, right? Oh no, there goes. I think the best way to learn these basic computer science fundamentals is really just like doing things on your own, he said. And if and when things eventually do work out, Mohammed suggests being as independent as possible. Ask for help when you need it, but the more problems you solve on your own, the more you'll likely learn. And you probably want to get yourself either a pro subscription to ChatGPT or to Gemini and ask it questions and stuff like that. If your company was allowing you to use Devin, maybe you got to get a Devin subscription and have it help you with your stuff, and don't be dependent on it, but maybe that can help you, right? It says, but the other thing I want to say is, I always tell people, you have the knowledge, you go find something that people need that's going to add value, build it. Once you build it, then you can show, oh, I built this and it has this many users and this is happening and this is what I learned from it. Your project, like, stop calling it a project, call it a business endeavor, and you can have your application running and how you learn from it. And you can actually be a developer for any company as well. Like, I'm just saying, right? It says, you're smart enough to evaluate whether you're blocked, he said. And if you're really blocked at a certain point, obviously, then you should ask for help. But try to solve the problems on your own. Just by solving the problems on your own, you understand how all the systems fit together, 100%, how things run, and eventually you'll start helping people with your expertise. It says, in an earlier interview with Business Insider, Mohammed said interns should try to learn as much as possible from their more experienced colleagues. After all, they were likely once in a similar position. They're really smart, so you want to absorb as much information as you can from them, Mohammed told Business Insider. Totally agree with all of that. Let's go to full screen. And let's get this off the screen. All right, so I'm going to take the chat one last time, and then we're going to put up 20 minutes to do a little bit of work with Kubernetes. Let's see. Wavener had said knowledge management is in the settings. The system reads the knowledge management instructions information to focus better on project, helps from breaking things. I'm going to go set mine up as soon as we are done with this, because I did not know about that. That is totally awesome. Knowledge management. Love it. All right, cool. So with that being said, let's go ahead and put up 20 minutes on the clock. Let me get a sip first. Let's put up 20 minutes on the clock.
It's time to do.
And of course, this thing is acting up as well. Let me go. Give me a second to put it on the right screen. This is the treasure. Maybe that's the secondary. All right, there we go. We're going to, let me move this back up. So I have Devin ready to help if necessary, but we're going to do some troubleshooting. I got to fix this one too, but whatever. All right, so we're going to go to apply our files. Let's go to ls, and we're going to say, first we need to do gcloud. We're going to say containers. Yep, container. And we're going to say clusters. Oops. And then we're going to say get credentials, and we are going to name it. Let me go open up Google Cloud Platform. Let's do that. And Kubernetes. But like the amount of stuff that you learn from working on these different platforms, getting into like API keys and stuff like that, it is totally crazy. All right, let me see clusters. Let's give that this one. All right, so we're gonna say get credentials, the name of the cluster, and then region equals US East 1. I think does Google let me see. All right, we are good with that. So now let's go clear, and we're gonna say ls kubectl apply -f service account. And then we are going to say apply f app secrets. We're gonna say actually no, I need to before I do any of that, I need to do a git pull. Oh, it's up to date. All right, cool. Just making sure that there was nothing new coming in from Devin. All right, we got that, and then we are going to say the backend cd or kubectl. Move this up to kubectl, and we're going to say apply -f backend, and let's say deployment and dash. Is that how you do it? Is that how you do? I'll just do one. Let's go with that. We'll do deployment. All right, so it says that it's created. Let's go ahead and check inside of here to see to get the error, right? We're gonna go check our error because we know it's gonna be an error because we still haven't resolved this issue. And then the other day we're getting this issue about no resources. I'm like, what are you talking about? No resources? Like, give me a break here. Let's see. Let me answer Junior's question right now. All right. Junior said, do you think it's a good idea for me to, oh, that's for way nerd, to use when I have no idea what I'm doing? Are you referring to the knowledge management? I would say it is a good idea to use so that if you have no idea what you're doing and you're learning it, it's not like you're going to be breaking anything. So I'd say try it. If you say don't do this or do this, so that, because at the end of the day, it's just doing what you're asking it to do, what you want it to do. So it's about your vision and it applying your vision. So I would say give it a try. You can always undo. You can always remove. You can always undo it. So I wouldn't really worry. I wouldn't be worried about. I'm never worried about making any configuration changes. So I say go with it. All right, give it a try. Worst case scenario, you say, all right, roll it back. All right, let's take a look at workloads. What does that mean? Doesn't have minimum availability. Your deployment may, all right, what does that mean? Let's see what this means. Deployed workloads. Troubleshoot errors for workloads running GKE cluster, including read the pod unscheduled section for advice on errors like. All right, let's go take a look at this. If a node has inadequate resources, but you still has adequate resources, but you still see this, check the pod status. If the pod is scheduled, the scheduling disabled or cordoned status, the node cannot schedule new pods. You can check the status of the node. All right, so let's go take a look at the node at the pods. Where are the pods? So we have pods are pending. I don't understand. Pods are pending. Your deployment may show temporary errors while autopilot provisions the nodes. So maybe I really don't know. I wish I could give Devin access to my Google Cloud to figure out what's going on with it. Updated, ready, available, unavailable. I don't know what that means. Let's see. Cat scale up due to exceeding quotas. I don't know. What is this exceeding quota? Allocation quotas, also known as resource quotas, define the number of resources that your project has access to. Compute engine enforces allocation quota on resource usage for various reasons. For example, quota helps protect the community of Google Cloud users by preventing unforeseen. What? I am confused by that. So if I don't. Can't scale up to the quota. Where can I see my quota? Because last time it was giving us an error about couldn't connect because of the database, but now it's just telling us something about your quota. I'm like, what are you talking about? Let's see. Doesn't have minimum availability. So I go in here. Pods are pending. Pods running in total. So I click in here. MD64. Let me see. Go back here. Let's click on this one. All right, let's take a look at this. So CPU. Limits CPU 200. Container logs. Let's take a look at that. Let's see here. Not seeing anything. Because you can start the cluster, but then I don't see anything else. Doesn't have minimum availability. All right, let's go to. Let's see what Devin has in here. So I am select. I don't have a. I don't really have a repo. Let's go. Let's go to Gemini. I am trying to launch a Kubernetes deployment, and I am getting this error. What's the error? On the deployment. Can you help me? Oh, I am using Google Cloud Platform. Let's see what happens. All right. It doesn't have that I'm using Google Cloud Platform. Check the status of the new. We got that. All right. Let's go to, because this has worked before. It's mainly the let's see, pods are pending. I don't see what would be causing this. If there's any logs. It's from 422. Let me go to and Google Cloud Platform. It is saying the pods all right. Let's see. All right. Thank you for that. All right. The pods are pending, and your Google allows to narrow down. The pod is stuck in pending means that Kubernetes scheduler cannot place it into the node. The pod has accepted the cluster, but it is waiting for a condition to be met. Let's see. This is the most critical step. Describe. All right. So let's try that code. We are going to say describe pod and let's say get pods. And we're gonna, so it's stuck on container creating. All right, we're gonna say kubectl describe pod. Paste the pod. All right, volume setup for UDB secrets Kubernetes setup failed at not found. All right, so there we go. That's the error. That's why it's failing. All right, so now we're gonna go back over here. Scenario is all right. We got that. So let's say, I'm just gonna say the error message that it got was this. when doing the describe pod command. We're going to paste that. Let's see what it can give us from there. That is a very specific and helpful message. Tells exactly what the problem is. So let's break it down. It is not found in the list of registered CSI drivers. This means your pod is configured to mount a volume using a special type of driver called being that. Error fetches a secret to an external provider like a Google. Okay, got that. The error message indicates that your GKE cluster does not have the driver installed. When the pod tries to create the, all right, Kubernetes looks for the, okay, got that. Enable the secret store CSI on GKE. For Google Kubernetes engine, this solution is straightforward. You don't need to manually install the driver. You simply need to enable the official GKE add-on for it. This will install the driver on the, and you can enable it via gcloud. Run this command. Let's see, gcloud container. Let's see. Can you enable? So what I want to know is, can I enable this via Terraform? So let's see. Can you enable via Terraform? Let's see what that says. If we can do it via Terraform, that's going to be awesome. If not, then we'll have to do it through the command line. I mean, we should. If it's a gcloud command, then we should be able to do it. Let me see. Yeah, it's a gcloud. Is it? Yeah, it's a gcloud command, so we should be able to do it through Terraform. Of course, you should enable the secrets via Terraform if you're managing your GKE cluster with it. All right, so Terraform, Google Container Cluster, primary. And all right, so I thought we had this in there though. Let me see. Maybe I didn't. Let's go and take a look at over here. And we would look at, is it main? So we have the Google Container Cluster. Let me see. Do we have GCP? Oh, it's not even in there. GCP secret. Okay, so what folder are we in? So because we had this other one too, the secrets. No, that's for. Yeah, it should be in here. It should definitely be in here. So let's go to. Copy that whole thing. And put that in there. What's this issue? Oh, that goes inside of the. That goes inside. All right, inside of the resource. I gotcha. Let's go to.
Lunch break! Lunch break!
All right, we are at break. But what I'm going to do, just so we can like save some time when we come back, I am going to drop it in here. And then I'm going to run it. It says it's unknown. I'm gonna give it a try, see what happens. Oh wait, there's a new one. They're for new GKE clusters. I don't see this add-on. So I'm looking at over here real quick. This block enable secret for Google Secret Manager. Yeah, we need this. Okay. GCP secret CSI config. Add-on config. Well, so you can give that. It's not founding it, but let's give that a try. I'm gonna give it a try, and we'll see what happens. Where's our terminal? We're gonna go to cd ls cd terraform. We're gonna say apply and unsupported block Google Container Cluster default GCP. That's, I see it right here. Oh, GCP secret. This is inside of the GKE clusters block add-on configs. All right, we'll research that once we get back, all right? Because this one is, I feel like you should find it. That's what Google's telling us how Google should work, right? So trying to figure that out. Anyways, let me just search this real quick. It should be this one. See, it should be in there. All right, let's go to break. Let's go to break. All right, cool. Let me check the chat real quick, see if there's anything in there. And if not, then we're going to go to our second break time convo. And then we'll wrap it up with one more quick segment before we get out of here, all right? Let me see. What happened to my... Oh, I know what happened to it. I was like, what happened to my time? Let me move that. We're going to go and take... I added the time to this. If I can find it. Oh, let me get it real quick. So, I'm going to take that and we're going to say, let's go with, boom. All right, cool. So we are at break. There we go. Look at that. That is, I love it. I absolutely love it. I might have to like try to angle it a little bit better, but love it. All right. Let me check the chat and then we'll get to our second break time conversation. All right. Junior says, the reason why I asked is because I have no idea where to go when building, so I rely on the knowledge from Lovable to give me a start. That's a good point. I do think, though, I think with the knowledge thing that Wave Nerd is talking about is like to say don't just go and break stuff. You know, you can make it a very basic prompt. But yeah, I see what you're saying. I do understand what you mean. I think you can always remove it if it's acting weird for you. So I have to give it a try though. Because it can definitely, like, you can get a lot of stuff done and then it just messes everything up and then you're gonna be like, what in the world happened here? All right. But that is a very good point. All right, we're gonna get to our second break time conversation, which is going to be about, I believe it's about Amazon. Let's see what this is about. Yes, Amazon orders 350,000 people, employees, to the office. Get your back here. All right, let's jump into that together. Put up 5 minutes on this. So Amazon CEO Andy Jassy, right? Orders, you know, you guys ever see like when people are talking, if he's like, oh yeah, he trains, and it's like trains, like, can you understand a figure of speech? Whatever. Anyways, to relocate or resign without severance. What is going on in the amazing world of Amazon? I have a question. Do Amazon employees call themselves Amazonians? I mean, you would think so, right? From Amazon, you'd be an Amazonian. Do Amazon employees call themselves Amazonian? That's my, because where's Ferris Medium? Where's Ferris? Are you an Amazonian? That, I don't know. Anyways, it says, so this is brought to us by MSN. It says Amazon made a calculated strategic decision when it ordered about 350,000 corporate workers to either resign without receiving severance pay or to move to major hubs in Seattle, Arlington, which I believe that's Virginia, and Washington, D.C. in order to combat the inefficiencies of remote work. This policy seeks to physically unite teams in order to improve collaboration, innovation, and operational effectiveness. This directive goes beyond simple logistics to represent Amazon's overarching strategic goal of preserving its competitive advantage in a market that is extremely dynamic. Do you guys think Temu is a competitor for Amazon? I'm just wondering, is Temu a competitor for Amazon? Being physically close encourages impromptu conversation, speedier decision making, and a greater sense of purpose, elements that are challenging to replicate virtually. I agree with the impromptu conversations, which those can be annoying. Speedier decision making, which is very helpful, and greater sense of purpose. I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea what they mean by working in person gives you a greater sense of purpose. You know what gives me do you know what gives me a greater sense of purpose? By actually doing purposeful work, whether it's for myself, whether it's for the company that I work for, whether it's for my family, whether it's on the mats of jiu-jitsu. Doing purposeful work gives me a greater sense of purpose. All right. With decades of operational experience, Amazon's leadership understands that real-time idea collisions foster innovation. That is true too. So many things come out of real-time. What is that? It? Wait, am I missing? Where's the rest of the article? Is that? This better not be the whole article. Give me a second. Give me a second. This cannot be the whole entire article. I feel cheated. I feel bamboozled that this is where the article ends. With decades of operational experience, Amazon's leadership understands that the real-time ideas collision fosters innovation, and that's how, I can't believe we're ending this way. Hold on. That is not an article. That is not an article. The Economist. I'm lost. Whatever. Anyways, this article really upset me because it just abruptly ended. Like, where's the rest of the article? It's like it was generated with AI and it ran out of tokens, right? And it's like, well, that's all that we have today. That's all that we have for today. Anyways, I'm gonna get back to the chat as we wrap up this break. Let's go to get that off of the screen. All right. We have in the building. Let's see. It says Wave Nerd is dragging me out into the deep. Look. I say, when you're teaching somebody how to swim and they're looking at you scared to jump in the water, you give them one of those Sparta kicks and say, "This is Sparta," and you kick them in the water and you get them to go, right? Not literally because you don't want them to drown, but learning how to do new stuff, give them a big kick in and have them just fall until they can catch themselves and
Move on,
run it
back
up
to
from
work.
there.
Chop, chop, let's go. Come on, get a move on. You're back to work, back to work, back to work.
That's how I see it. We have my guy, Rod Brown, in the building. What's up, Rod Brown? How are you doing today? Rod Brown, did you enjoy our meetup yesterday where we were vibe coding? It's a vibe. We were vibe coding. We were talking. We were chilling, getting a lot of stuff done. I used up the rest of my Lovable credits. The re-up man did come. So I also last night downgraded down to the 100 credits plan so I can effectively manage my token addiction, because I had 200 tokens for them because I went crazy on day one. I built everything. And I'm like, all right, we're going to manage this effectively, right? Make the most out of everything. We got Ferris in the building. Ferris just hit us up with a no. He says that we are not called Amazonians over at Amazon. Employees are not called Amazonians. I thought that would have been pretty cool. Why? Okay. Why? So what do you guys call yourselves? If you guys aren't Amazonians, what do you call yourselves? That's my question. What do Amazon employees call themselves? Just put some respect on Amazon's name. I love it. I love Amazon. I love their business model, all that good stuff. So I have no problem with Amazon. But it was just a curious, like, why wouldn't you guys be called Amazonian? It seems only right that you guys would be called Amazonians. All right, that's my thought. Let's see. Ferris says people forget Amazon is the biggest robotics company, biggest cloud provider, and entering the robo taxi game with Zoox. Temu is a joke. That's a good point. That is a good point. I guess I meant from a sales like retail perspective. If Temu was a competitor, but yeah, not from all those other, not from the robotics, the cloud, all that. I just meant strictly from a retail perspective. If Temu could be considered because they say like Walmart is a competitor of Amazon from the retail perspective, but for everything else, Walmart doesn't have any of those robotics, those clouds, all that type of stuff. So I was just wondering from a retail perspective specifically. Let's see. Ferris is plus Twitch, Amazon Gaming, Amazon TV, and Audible. You are totally right. I'm standing down. Ferris, I'm tapping out. Ferris. Like you're right. You're totally right. All right. Just let me breathe. All right. Ferris says, and he said he hits up with the Amazon is an ETF, a company with many sub companies. That's you're right. When you're right, you are right.
We the best.
All right. Rod Brown says, great vibe coding session yesterday. Sorry I couldn't stay the entire time. Family, look. Rod Brown, if you're able to join for just 5 minutes and grace us and bless us with your presence, it is more than enough time for me. More than enough time. And it says my no was to the I know that's what you were saying no to. I was just wondering, like, from a retail perspective, if Temu was considered a competitor. But yeah, everything else I know that's not a competitor to Amazon. All right, cool. Well, let's 15 minutes up. Let's get one more segment into the building of this work. Let's go. I wish I did a different article. All right, so I will do we'll just let the timer run. Once the timer runs out, we'll wrap it up that way. All right. So let's take a look at the error that we're getting. So I'm going to go over to here and we're going to say, let's see. So we know. Okay, so let's go over to Gemini. And it said that this block enables the storage or the secret store for Google Secrets, because we don't have that in our thing, but it's telling me that it's wrong though. What if I'm using, says, what if I'm using the autopilot cluster? Oh, I see. It's the no was to the competitor. You didn't answer the Amazonians. Okay, I see what you're saying. I totally got. I thought the no was for the Amazonians. But yeah. So Ferris says people. Ferris works for Amazon. He says people call themselves Amazonians. I don't do all that. I think it's weird. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool being in because Amazon and you are an Amazonian, which is pretty cool. I mean, I think that's cool. All right. So it says excellent question. Using GKE autopilot to make this process even more straightforward. The great news is that Terraform configuration is almost identical. The primary difference is simply telling the Google container cluster resources to be autopilot. The core logic of using add-on config. I don't know why that's not working though. Provider, we got that. Resource, autopilot location, enable autopilot. And then this is the block right here. Why is that not working? I'm literally just copying exactly as it is. Let's go to, see, it's the same exact thing. All right, so let's go with unsupported block type. It's supposed to be inside of the resource Google container cluster. Am I off on that? So if I minimize this, so it's inside of it. So we have this enable autopilot deletion protection, secrets manager config, enable true, add-ons config, and then, all right, so what should be in here? File store. Huh. So, let's do so now I'm gonna go over here. So this is how I use this. Like, cause I used to like just Google everything, Stack Overflow it, but for certain things, like I'd rather like just some coding stuff. I'll use, like if I have a coding issue, I might use I'll Google it. But trying to figure something that we've been trying to work on for so long and getting that explanation. So I'm gonna say and I can just talk to it back and forth, right? It says all right, when I run Terraform apply, I'm getting this error. Let's see. All right, so that's an excellent catch and a very important nuance of Google provider for Terraform. My apologies. That error message indicates that I gave you a slightly outdated or incorrect block name in the previous example. The error blocks of types GCP secrets are not expected here means that the block inside add-ons is not the current version of Terraform provider expects. Let's correct this. The actual name for this add-on with Terraform is GKE ASM. This is not intuitive and it stands for GKE Anthos Service Mesh. What is that? But this configuration block is also used for secret store. See, that is weird. All right. The correct Terraform configuration block with GKE. Okay. Weird. All right. So we're going to take this one. So GKESM enable true. The channel attribute is required for autopilot clusters. Use regular unless you have specific reasons to use another channel. All right. I'm going to take this one. Let's go over here. And we're going to say, take that. We're going to drop it. Unknown block. So it's an unknown block. Gemini, do you know what you're talking about? Gemini, do you know how to use Google Cloud? I'll try it, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna give us another error. How can I tell what version of Terraform I'm using? Let's go Terraform. Oh, your version of Terraform is out of date. You you can update by downloading from here. Maybe we need to update our Terraform. I don't know. Copy URL. I'm going to go over here. Let's try to update our Terraform. Install. Oh, sorry. ARM64. Save that. Let's open that. Ready to go. Okay. What? It's a binary? Wait, what? All right, so I have an older version. Let's see. How do you upgrade Terraform? To upgrade Terraform, all right, so you just do it in command line. Tell me go to this website. All right, let's do this. We're gonna do Terraform init. Well, to upgrade Terraform, let's do upgrade. To upgrade providers. If using Homebrew, you can install. All right, let's try that. So many different competing information, right? Let's see. Brew install Terraform. Did we use Brew? I think we did. Let's see. Let's see. Terraform is our Terraform is already installed. Let's see. Which one? So I have the binary. I gotta figure out how to update this Terraform because it's just not finding all the. But that's not that outdated though. If the latest version of Terraform is if it's one, let me see. The latest version of Terraform is. It's always something new. The latest version is 1.12, and that's not that. It shouldn't be. All right, so I'm gonna say that. Now we're getting. I'm just gonna put this error because this doesn't make any sense. Now I'm getting this error. It's clear. Whoa! I'm not frustrated. I'm not frustrated. You're not causing me frustration. It's just a question. Don't be so sensitive. The very first time is that the feature might not be configurable through the block and newer versions of Google provider. Let's try one critical addition, ensuring your provider version is up to date. Please check your Terraform configuration. So let's do that. Terraform init. Upgrade. See what happens here. So it wasn't up to date, so that's one thing. All right, we are up to date now. So now if I go back and get the old code, maybe I can go in here and I can do undo. It's still not there. We're still not working. So we did that. So I'm looking over here. And add-ons. Yeah, that's not working though. I upgraded to the latest provider version, which is this one. And I'm still getting the block not found error. Let's see. Because if we can get this to work, maybe that's the final boss that we're experiencing. And I would say that I'm going to work on it during the week, but I'm probably not. I am thinking about going live on Friday morning, maybe in the morning time. I don't know, maybe not. It is a parade on Friday morning, maybe Friday afternoon before people come over. Maybe we go live for like 2 hours, get some work done. Because the following week I'm going to be out of town, and most likely we're not going to be able to use. The internet's probably going to be bad, so I won't be able to live stream. So maybe I can get an extra Friday in there, because then Sunday we're probably going to be driving up. So Sunday, maybe I'll go live Friday and Saturday, so that we can get some work in there, because I most likely won't be available the following week because the internet is normally bad where I'm going. So we'll see. All right. Okay. Let's see. The incorrect format is a wild goose chase. Stop it. I really want to tell Gemini to stop being so soft. like stop. Like let's just try to figure it. Let's just try to figure it out. All right. There you're seeing blocks are not expected here. After upgrading, it's completely my fault for providing outdated. All right, let's see. Add on secret manager. So we have this though, right? This block is now allowed. So we have this. So we already had. All right. So why are we still getting that error then? It's my fault for not telling it that about the new version, but we're still getting that error though. We are still getting that error. Let's see. What day, Rod Brown? What day? So being that I have the updated version, if I go over here, let's go before we went on that wild goose. And sometimes this stuff will take you on a wild goose chase. All right, so let's say, then why am I getting this error? you want to have a coaching call, Rod Brown? Oh, shots fired. Shots fired. Oh my goodness. I agree with you totally. So that's totally, I understand completely why this is confusing. And you're frustrating. I'm not frustrated, all right? All right. I have to say this, right? The only thing that is frustrating is that you keep saying that I'm frustrated. Let's just figure out the issue. I had to, all right? That was really annoying me, okay? So let's go back over here. And let's break down exactly what happened. So declaring your intent. would not, all right, by updating, all right, we have that already. Kubernetes fulfilling your intent in progress. The error driver name secret store is not found means that your application pod started up a node before the CSI driver pod had finished. Thinking of it like Terraform apply. No, it's not that big. All right, think of it like
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
how to verify installation status. The CSI driver is deployed to a daemon set, which is a Kubernetes workload that ensures a copy of its pod runs on every node. We need to check the status of the daemon set, so we can run this. Okay, let's go over here. Try that real quick. Kubectl get daemon set -n kube system. And we have a bunch of stuff, but I don't see, is it alphabetical? All right, CSI secret store GKE. Should be this one. Provider. SA. I see these, which let's see what it says with that. Then we'll wrap it up after that. That was exactly what I needed to see. That's a positive result. Let's break down what it means. This is the main CSI driver. This is a specific provider that allows the main driver to talk to Google Secrets Manager, desired one, current one, ready one, available one. That's a crucial part. Both components, Kubernetes desired one pod to be running because you have one node, and it confirms that one pod is currently running, ready. And all right, so conclusion, I'm reading this over here. Conclusion, the driver and the provider are now correctly installed and healthy on your GKE. So why did your pods default? Because it tried to start before the state in your screenshot was reached. Now we have to confirm the drivers. Now that we have confirmed the driver's ready, verify driver registration. All right, so now we're going to do kube get CSI. Then we're going to wrap it up. Okay. Kube CTO get CSI driver. All right. Let's see. You should see secret store. File store. Secret. Oh, look at that. Secret store GKE CSI K8.io. Oh yeah, I see it. I see it. It's right there. Let's go with that. All right, I see this. I'm gonna go put it in Gemini. And the list confirms the final. All right, it looks correct. So now restart your application. This is the most important step now. Your existing pods that failed are in a permanent error state. We need to tell Kubernetes to terminate them and create fresh ones. The new pods will start in an environment where the driver is already waiting. All right, so let's give that one a go. Let's see if that's going to work, right? So let me clear this out. And we're going to say kube CTO roll out restart deployment, and your deployment name, EDC. Crap. Let me get the deployment name. Kube CTO get deployments, UDCP. All right, so kubectl roll out, restart, deployment, and udc-be. Give that a go. It's restarted. All right, we got that. After running this, monitor your new pods. So let's do kubectl get pods. And we have one that's pending. This one is dead to us. Let's see if the pending one does anything productive. Let me go and take a look at Google Cloud while that's doing its thing. If the new pod gets stuck in an error state, then we would proceed to check the log as a final resort. However, given the daemon sets are fully ready, a rollout restart is the standard procedure and is very likely to solve. All right, we shall see. We shall see. So we have one that's terminating, two that are pending, one that's stuck in. All right, two that are container creating. Let me go and pull up the browser real quick. If we go here, let's go back. Let's refresh. Kind of still says the same error. Pods are pending. Pods are pending. This kind of looks like the same way that it was before. Now it's just 2 instead of 1. Let's go and do the command that we did last time on one of them. So I'm looking over here. And then that'll be it. We fought the good fight. Let's describe that pod. Huh. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, that's it. I'm done. I am done with this one. We're gonna move on to the next aspect of our DevOps course. Google Cloud Platform 1, Tech Code Trial 0. I am going to check the chat and I'm going to get us up and out of here because we are going live. Got some really cool. Junior, you'll definitely want to tune into the Jiu-Jitsu channel tonight. We're going to be talking about some really cool stuff. The videos that we're going to review, probably not going to do it because some scheduling conflicts. But Henry, Naum, Justin, and I will be there talking and all that good stuff. All right, let's go ahead and check the chat and then we'll get out of here, right? Let's see. Ferris says, I love Terraform. Aww. You can init and you can set it up, check everything, and it's good to go. And when you commit, it doesn't work. Oh my God, like we have Terraform nightmares at work between the Terraform file formatting check that we have in GitHub, and then we'll do it'll do the plan and like the, not the local version, but like the online version. And then you're like, oh my God, it's gonna work. And then you go to apply, it says failed.
Bruh.
Rod Brown says, I'm thinking about going live too. Nice. Says, I would go live any day. However, I still can't find the live button.
Bruh.
So I guess I can't. Now Junior says, all right, Rod Brown. Now you're just teasing. He's more afraid of going live. What? Than he is afraid of those Hebrew Israelites. You know what? I got something for Rod Brown. Real quick, if I can find it. Let's go to where is that? Did I lose it? Oh, I know where it was. It's in Madness. I got something for you. I got something for you, Rod Brown. Give me a second. Give me a second here. I got something for Rod Brown real quick. Let's go to here.
Brother Rod Brown, you H8 to do your research, brother.
And he coughed at one more time.
Brother Rod Brown, you H8 to do your research, brother.
And he even messed up on the word have, because maybe that's how they just say the word have. I don't know, but just you gotta do your research, Rod Brown. You gotta do your research. And Rod Brown says, I'm scared of your coaching calls, as well as you should be. You should be. Ferris says the AI wants to be sensitive to you. I could not take it anymore. I'm like, all right, I'm not frustrated unless you keep saying that I'm frustrated. Like that's what when people are trying to tell you how you feel, I'm like, stop it. It says, so why Kubernetes over Docker? Are you asking like in this instance, like why I'm doing it here or in general? I think people like Kubernetes because of the auto scaling and stuff like that, but I'm doing it here just to learn it for DevOps and stuff, for just to learn it. But I love using Docker, and Kubernetes does use Docker images to a certain extent. So, but it's just to learn it really. I'm about to move on for it. And you're just looking forward to the half guard, half jiu-jitsu show tonight. And Rod Brown is in tears of joy. And Ferris says that he saw a Black Hebrew Israelite in real life and thought it was an internet meme until he saw it for himself. It is what it is. Says it sounded like he was starting to. He coughed at the end. All right, and says okay, it has auto scaling. So that's why people like for enterprise to use Kubernetes, because it can add more containers based on traffic, and you set limits and stuff like that. But I know with Amazon, like they have auto scaling on like load balancers and stuff like that. So I don't know. I am not, like I said, I'm not the best DevOps person. I know how to use this stuff, but when it comes to like subnetting and all that other crazy stuff, that is not my forte, not my wheelhouse, right? But that is it for today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Really, really appreciate you guys. Ferris, Rod Brown, me, Masify, Junior, Wave Nerd, all of you wonderful, wonderful, amazing people. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for contributing to the show. Thanks for allowing me to take about 2 hours, add a little bit of value into your lives on your way out. Do me a big, big favor. If you have not done so already, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know every time we go live and drop new content. As well, go to techcoach.dev. Sign up today for an account. Get access to exclusive content like the video I'm going to be uploading that from yesterday of our meetup, where we're talking about building these applications in these new modern software engineering platforms, software development platforms, where it's more about prompting than it is about having the like to be a genius in coding, go faster, but you have the knowledge to do a lot better, right? Check that out, techcoach.dev. Check if you want some shirts, hoodies, tank tops, whatever, merch.techcoach.dev. And on Friday, 4th of July, Happy Independence Day, we have the Captivity album dropping. So a lot of stuff happening. I'm going to see you guys throughout the week. Great stuff. You guys take it easy. Tech Coach Ralph, we are out.
I'm not their echo, I'm my own sound. My roots in the earth, my head unbound. They whisper and judge, but I'm not their clay. I mold my tomorrow, I'm done with today. I walked away from their parade. Their words like stones that ricochet. They call me lost, but I am found on this quiet road where I'm unbound. I walked away through the quiet of the storm. Their voices loud, but my soul felt warm. They point their fingers, call me the stray, but I found my freedom when I walked away, yeah.
I walked away from their parade. Their words like stones that ricochet. They call me lost, but I am found on this quiet road where I'm unbound. I walked away through the quiet of the fray. Their voices loud, but my soul felt warm. They point their fingers, call me the stray, but I found my freedom when I walked away. They try to shame the soul that strays. When you carve your path, they turn away. An outsider's heart beats loud and clear. No chains can hold what's free from fear.
Their dreams aren't mine, they never fit. A puzzle forced, it just won't click. I see the world through my own eyes, not filtered through their scripted lies.
Their dreams were cages I couldn't call home. I saw a horizon where I could roam. They don't understand what they can't contain, but my path is my own through joy and pain. They try to shame the soul that strays. When you carve your path, they turn away. An outsider's heart beats loud and clear. No chains can hold what's free from fear.
Let them whisper, let them glare. I've grown strong in this thin air. The crowd may roar, but I won't bend. My road's my own until the end. They call me the outsider for chasing my flame. Their rules and their boxes I refuse to claim. I won't be a shadow, I'll carve my own way. They can try to shame me, but I won't obey. They call me the outsider for chasing my flame. Their rules and their boxes I refuse to claim. I won't be a shadow, I'll carve my own way. They can try to shame me, but I won't obey.
They try to shame the soul that strays. When you carve your path, they turn away. An outsider's heart beats loud and clear. No chains can hold what's free from fear.
So call me the outsider if that's what I'll be. I'd rather be lost if it means I'm free. Their maps are for them, I'll chart my own sea. I walked away, now I'm finally me.